back as well. Good morning, YouTubers. We're on the Isle of Mann today. I'm going to fly around the island on its way and just have a good look at the Isle of Mann, which is in the middle of the Irish Sea between Ireland and England and Scotland. Right there. So, without further ado, let's go. The pilots, that's what we need. Always fly better with pilots. Okay, let's begin. There's a helicopter over there by the looks of things. Never seen a Merlin fly though, but brakes off. Let's see if we can spin around. There we go. Ronald's Way, I think this place. You can Google the Isle of Mann. It's I'm trying to get that microphone. I need a better headset. They've got a medieval castle here apparently that was never attacked, and so it's really in quite good nick considering how old it is. This is the airport. Now, during the Second World War, they deported all the Germans here. There's loads of Germans that lived in, apart from the King of England, they didn't deport him. But all the other Germans, they sent them to the Isle of Mann. This is it, for the duration of the war, in case they were Nazis and sympathisers and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of German people, I think, that live here still, maybe. Or maybe they all went back, I don't know. But it's ironic, really, since the King of England was German. And all his friends. In fact, there was a Nazi who was a Hanoverian member of his family, a cousin or something. And the King, he was even in the German Gestapo or something. And after the war, the King sent the army to empty his house and help him move before the Russians stole all his art treasures and things like that. According to Dr. Mark Felton, if you ever watch him. Right, circling around. This is the airport. So we're on the south side really here at the moment, and north is, I'll point the helicopter to the north. North is that way. So I think the capital's over here. Might be wrong. Never been to the Isle of Man, but they come here every year for the races, don't they? They have motorcycles and they bomb around the island at high speed. All the bikers are into the Isle of Man. The TT they call it. You Google TT racing for those of you who don't know or unfamiliar. They lay out a track. Well, it's just roads really, but there's a route. They lay out a route, and all these motorcycles go hacking around as fast as they can. And it's really well famous. I've never been into racing motor. I have had a few races on a motorcycle when I was a boy. Very, very dangerous, I must hasten to add. Come off a few motorcycles in my time, but mainly the small ones, the 125s and things when I was learning. I don't think I've ever come off a larger motorcycle, but they're very unforgiving machines. And lots of people have died. Anyway. In fact, so many people died at one time, they made everyone wear a helmet. It's the law, you can't ride a motorcycle now without a helmet on. And everyone was like, what? Are you serious? But you don't think twice, do you? The same with seatbelts, you know, nobody wore a seatbelt, did they? Until it became the law. Ha! So there. And then you were a criminal, weren't you, if you didn't wear your seatbelt. Something to do with Jimmy Savile. Being restrained. Right. If I'm not mistaken, this just coming up now is the main city, town, whatever. Because it's a curious place, the Isle of Man. I don't think it's, I mean, it is part of the UK, but it's not. You'd have to look into it. I don't know, that's the answer. I've flown over it a few times in Flight Simulator, but that's it. Other than that, I really don't know anything about the Isle of Man. I know where it is, I've seen it from the air, because we used to parachute at Grange over Sands, and you could see it on a clear day. Out in the Irish Sea there. Couldn't see Ireland, but we could see the Isle of Man. This is it, this is it. Oh, there's an island there, look. Right, there's the river. No idea where anything is. I mean, I'm told there's a castle here, which I shall look for. Oh, is that it? Castle on an island? I suppose it makes sense to put it on an island. Or is that a fort from the war? Because they built gun emplacement. That looks more like a flag tower, doesn't it? Not a castle. Don't know what that is. Right. Let's come up the river here. See if we can spot anything. Looks castleified. Because they usually sort of put them next to rivers, don't they? Just goes into a marina. Okay, I think we drew a blank there. It's bound to be a Tesco's. Church. Should have looked it up before I jumped in, but never mind, I like exploring. Lots of churches, there must be very religious people. It's not really very far, is it, to the capital? Can't see a castle anywhere. You'd think it would be in the main town. Okay, we'll go round the town then. Have helicopter will fly. Where are you gonna go? I don't know. Follow your nose. Never been here, never done this before. Bit of a river there or something. Bit of a, more of a ditch really than a river, isn't it? I wonder what property prices are here. I know you go to the far corners of Southern Ireland and you can get houses really, really cheap. Scotland used to be cheap, but it doesn't appear to be cheap anymore. It's either not depicted or we've completely missed it. I'm looking for the castle. What's that? This appears to be like a load of houses in the dip, sheltering from the wind, I suppose. I'm not seeing anything at all that remotely looks like a castle. I just have to go back to the airport, land, and then get on Google Maps and find it. Like I said, it may not be depicted, but if it is, I want to find it first. It's much more challenging to find it without knowing where it is than to do your homework first and then go straight there, isn't it? I just... If you fail to find it, then you go and do your homework and then think, ah, that's where it was. Oh, I missed it. It's got to be here. It's got to be here near the... You've got to say to yourself, where would I put it? You know, if I was a old knight type person. I mean, that mole probably wasn't there, but there would have been somewhere to land boats, so they would have been... They would have put that there quite early on, the walls. So I reckon the castle would be in here somewhere, close to where the boats come in. That's my theory. I might be completely wrong, but I'm not seeing anything that remotely looks like a castle. Isle of Man Part 1. Failed to find the castle. Right, okay. Wouldn't want it too close to that hill. So probably right here, where I am now. Seems a good spot. We're on that hill over there. That's the only other point. Let me just go and check that hill again. Perhaps overlooking the arm there. Check that on the way back. I'm going to check this ridge, this other likely place over here, and then we'll come back and check the land above the arm. Ball in the middle, come on. There you go. Lots and lots of right rudder there. There we are. There's a bit of a high point here. That looks a good place for a castle, doesn't it? But it doesn't depict a castle at all. It depicts some sort of office block. But yeah, that would be a good spot, I think. A likely spot. But that's part of the solution, is to ask yourself where you'd build it. What would you do? It does look like a castleified place, doesn't it? It's got a good view of everything there. Let's go down to the height of the building and then we'll have a look. And we'll see what we think the view looks like from there. You just couldn't do this in real life. So many people would get upset, because they're easily upset, you know, people. Especially if you hover over their house and their tiles start falling off. Blown away. Oh, you'll never hear the end of it. Right, yeah, this looks a good spot for a castle, because I say that because we've got a good view of the whole town, haven't we? Battery's low. I've got a battery warning indicator. My handset. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is that's a likely spot, definitely. So I'll look on the map, because that you can see everything from here. And if it's not a castle, it's a really good spot to have a house. Right, let's look at the entrance to the harbour, because they like to have dominance over things, and it's too far to fire an arrow from back there, isn't it? So if ships are coming in, they like to have access from the sea in case of sieges and things. I don't know. Honestly, I've never been here, so I don't know. I watched a documentary years ago, and I'm sure they said there was a castle here, and it was never been attacked, so it was in really good nick. But other than that, I don't know anything. But I'm exploring. I'm enjoying exploring in my chopper. Right, another likely place would be here, wouldn't it? Somewhere. Ah! What's this? Looks like a gas holder. An oil storage tank, not a castle. But here would be a likely spot, I would have thought. Maybe on top of the hill there. No, they're oil storage tanks, aren't they? Well, I give up. I don't know. I'm going to go back to the airport and I'm going to look on the map. I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to come back and show you where it actually is. Not what I think it might be. And that will conclude part 1 of the Isle of Man. And I'll go and Google it, and I'll read up about it, and then we'll go and find some interesting places on the Isle of Man. How's that? No point in exploring, is there? If you can't explore and find things out. Sometimes it pays to do a bit of homework first. Other times it spoils the experience, so I do prefer to just fly around and explore, and then I don't know. What do you reckon? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I suppose doing your homework is the best way. It's just an excuse to go flying, isn't it, G? And I don't need an excuse to go flying. I can assure you of that. I really don't. Especially with helicopters. Helicopters are such a challenge. I never found flying aircraft challenging, because to me they're really easy, but helicopters are way more difficult to fly than fixed wing. Aeroplanes, I should say. Fixed wing and rotary, as they say in the aviation business. And I have to admit, I really like helicopters. I'm definitely shining towards them. What's that? Some sort of chopper. Let's do a bit of air to air with it, eh? If it is a chopper. It's quite high. There's the airfield. I'm going to get a bit of air to air. That sounds like fun. I haven't done any formation flying with other helicopters actually. That'll be a first. So we are climbing. If we go south from the Isle of Man, we'll finish up at Valley, Anglesey in North Wales. If we go east, we'll finish up in the Lake District. And west, we'll finish up in Ireland. North, we'll finish up in Scotland. So, it's in an interesting place, close to lots of places, but not really anywhere. In fact, if we go high enough, should be able to 5,000 feet already. Didn't realise it was that high. Got a good race of climb going there. Who the fuck flies this high in a helicopter? Six 6,000 feet, still climbing. Part of me wants to give up and go back to the airport, and the other part of me wants to continue. See, helicopters don't generally fly that high, you know, but they can. I would say 10,000 feet would be the maximum, because you've got no supplementary oxygen. And you get over 10,000 feet, you start suffering from hypoxia because of lack of oxygen. Oh bollocks, don't know how high he is. I've had enough. I'm bored. It took me ages to get up there. Right, there's the bit of a higher view of Ronald's Way, is it? Douglas? The cap is the town, isn't it? And Ronald's Way is the airport, which is back there. Okay, let's see how far we can glide. Can let's see if we can glide all the way to the airport. We'll drop the lever. So we're coming down now. People say helicopters can't glide. Well, it's gravity forcing the wind up through the blades causes the inertia, and generally speaking they can't glide very far in comparison to a fixed wing, but I feel that we'll make it all the way to the airport with the lever down from this height anyway. We're losing a lot of height. There's the up and down meter and it's saying 2,000 feet a minute we're coming down. I wouldn't want to land at this speed. Rate of descent. That's easy going to make it. Perhaps we could do a rolling landing when we get there. I will do some air-to-air with another helicopter, but I don't want to climb to like 10,000 feet. It'll take forever. My attention span will expire long before we get up there. Now when you're coming down rapidly like this, and when they teach you auto rotation, they actually want you to raise the nose up, because that'll give you the maximum RPM going through the blades. We've actually reduced our rate of descent dramatically as well. This thing should be dropping like a brick, and it's not really. Although we're coming back to 2,000, or what, 1,500 feet a minute. A bit more rudder in there. That's more like it. You can feel the ground rush now. We've got very little forward speed. Okay, let's go for the glide now. Lower the nose. Let's get some forward momentum up. And I think we need to put some power in, because if we don't, we may spank. And we don't want to spank in. Okay. Raising the collective slightly. There we go. That was fun. Right. I'm going to park up near the tower, and I need to get the map out and try and find out where this castle is. This damned cursed castle. Hopefully we'll find another helicopter to do some air-to-air with. See, I can't see the pad because it's concealed. I'm using that as a helipad. I can come in at this angle, preferably into wind, although I haven't got a wind indicator. No. I don't think we're into wind at all. We need a wind sock. Just rotate the helicopter till everything feels better. That feels better. Okay. Right, brakes on. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in part 2. Okay, welcome back to part 2. Quick look on Google has revealed that I was right the first time, that it was called the Tower of Refuge, and it's on that little island just outside Douglas. But that wasn't the castle that I was referring to. The one I was referring to is in Castletown, which is behind me. It's not far from the airport, and I'm going to go there and see if I can find it. Brakes off. And lift off. Okay, that'll do. Feels good. All the things in the green, nothing on the caution panel. Right, so Castletown is behind me in the opposite direction. See, there was me thinking that this castle that I saw in a documentary was in Douglas, which is the capital, and it's not. It's in a place called Castletown. Castletown, that's a bit of a giveaway, the name of the place, isn't it, I suppose? So let's go and see if the castle is depicted or not. Apparently it's one of the best medieval castles in Europe, so they claim. That's their boast. Because I've never been here before, I don't know. There'll be loads of hairy bikers, won't there, going, you didn't know that, been there loads of times. Yes, I'm sure. Well, I'm going to do loads of flights around the Isle of Man because it's quite big, and I'll do a bit of research as well, so I'll be able to tell you a little bit more as we explore. So this is Castletown, coming up here. So we go up the river, up the estuary there, and it's just on the left. So let's start slowing the bird down. You sure this is it? Doesn't look right to me. I'm in the wrong place. I had a quick look on the map and it said next to the airport. So maybe it was even closer to the airport. This doesn't look like it at all. Okay, well let's just have a quick look back that way. Oh, sure, this should be it. This should be Castletown. Right, let's go back to the airport because Castletown's got to be that one right next to the airport. Then I've come too far, surely. See what happens when you haven't got a map and a navigator. Get lost. Come on, get the ball in the middle. That's it. Loads of right foot there. Perhaps this is it and I went too far. No. What do we have here? Well, I'm seeing a river. I don't see anything that looks like a castle. That's annoying, isn't it? So this is Castletown, it should be right here. Okay. It's clearly not depicted. If it is, this is the place. Oh, it's disappointing. It really is. Right. I'll have to go back to my Google Maps and find somewhere else to go in. Brakes on. Thanks for watching.